Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Breaking entertainment news, Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, dead at the age of 54 on a drowning accident.
What if I told you that one of television's most beloved stars was honored in a way so touching? It left not a single dry eye in the room. That a man who brought laughter, wisdom, and powerful presence to our screens was remembered with a tribute so emotional that even the usually composed Jaleel White couldn't hold back tears. Today, we take you inside the emotional farewell to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the man we all knew as Theo Huxtable, a figure who defined an era of television and left behind a legacy that will echo through generations. But what truly stunned everyone was Jaleel White's tribute, a speech so raw, so personal, so utterly beautiful, that it turned a funeral into a celebration of life, love, and legacy. Stick with us because this is more than just a funeral. This is the story of brotherhood, of Hollywood bonds, of how one life can ripple into countless others. And before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss the real stories behind the stars we grew up with. Let's begin. Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just Theo from The Cosby Show, he was a cultural cornerstone. Growing up in the 1980s and 90s, you didn't just watch Malcolm, you connected with him. He was the voice of the young black male growing up with questions, dreams, and a quiet strength that resonated with millions. Unlike many child stars, Malcolm never crumbled under the weight of fame. He evolved. He went on to become an acclaimed director, musician, and poet. From shows like Read Between the Lines to The Resident, Malcolm continued to build a career with grace and dignity. Off-screen, he was a mentor, a friend, a quiet pillar of wisdom in the industry. But when news broke that Malcolm had passed suddenly at the age of 54, fans and friends alike were shocked. The entertainment world stopped. And as tributes poured in from stars, co-stars, musicians, and activists, one man's voice stood out: Jaleel White, best known for his unforgettable role as Steve Urkel on Family Matters, was never just a sitcom star. What many fans didn't know was that Jaleel and Malcolm had a deep, private friendship, one formed, not in front of the camera, but behind the scenes of Hollywood. They came up in the same era. They were two young black boys navigating an industry that often tokenized them, stereotyped them, yet expected perfection. They understood each other in ways few others could. And at Malcolm's memorial, held in Los Angeles with hundreds in attendance, Jaleel took the stage. And what followed was nothing short of breathtaking. He didn't read from paper. He didn't hold notes. He spoke from the soul. "I wasn't supposed to speak today," Jaleel began, his voice trembling. "I told myself I wouldn't cry. But this man, this brother right here deserves to be seen. Deserves to be remembered for the quiet giant he was." His voice cracked. He paused. But the room waited. Jaleel went on to share stories no one had ever heard about how Malcolm was there for him after a painful breakup, about long phone calls discussing legacy, manhood, fatherhood, and pain, about how, during some of Jaleel's darkest years, Malcolm would just show up. No cameras, no tweets, just presence. "You were my compass when I was lost in a sea of fame," Jaleel said. "You were the one who reminded me that we were more than the characters we played." By the time he finished, the room was in tears. Celebrities hugged. Grown men wept. And for one long, beautiful moment, you could feel Malcolm's spirit in the room. Though fans often compare black sitcom stars of the 80s and 90s, few realize how tight-knit that community truly is. Jaleel and Malcolm's friendship wasn't just about fame. It was about surviving the machine of Hollywood. They'd meet at private poetry readings, jam together at jazz clubs, share books, watch each other's work. There was a sacred circle of brothers like Darius McCrary, Alfonso Ribeiro, and even child stars like Marcus T. Polk who leaned on one another like family. Malcolm was the anchor, the quiet elder among them, the one who checked in when no one else did. At the funeral, stories surfaced from dozens of these brothers about how Malcolm helped one actor get clean, how he anonymously paid for someone's mother's surgery, how he wrote poetry that never got published but healed people in private, how he didn't chase fame, he chased meaning. As video clips from Jaleel's tribute began circulating online, fans across the globe reacted. YouTubers, podcasters, even fellow celebrities reposted the tribute with captions like, "THIS is how you honor someone. I didn't know I needed this. Now I can't stop crying. Rest in power, Malcolm." Thank you, Jaleel. But perhaps the most touching reaction came from an unexpected place. A young aspiring actor from Detroit posted a video of himself watching the tribute, tears rolling down his cheeks. In his caption, he wrote, "I never met Malcolm-Jamal Warner, but I feel like he raised me." Through the screen. Through the words of his brother Jaleel, "I will carry his spirit in every audition I do." That's legacy. That's the ripple. In a time where celebrity often feels shallow, and tributes are sometimes performative, this one felt different, real, unscripted, eternal. Malcolm-Jamal Warner didn't leave us empty. He left us full of laughter, of wisdom, of unspoken lessons. And thanks to Jaleel White, those lessons are now louder than ever. So what can we take from this? Maybe we all need to pick up the phone and check on that friend. Maybe we need to live a little more like Malcolm. Not for the lights, but for the life behind the lights.
The body has been returned back stateside. It will likely be a bit delayed just because the authorities in Costa Rica are going to perform an autopsy.
1, 2, 3! There he is. He's getting up.
Their scenes together were electric.
For the poetry we never post, the calls we never record, the love we never broadcast. Because that's what lives on. If this story moved you even a little, don't scroll away. Take a second right now and leave a comment. What's your favorite memory of Malcolm-Jamal Warner? What did Theo Huxtable mean to you growing up? And hey, hit that like button. Not for me but for Malcolm, for Jaleel, for brotherhood, for legacy. Subscribe if you believe that we need more tributes like this. More truth, more humanity in the noise. Because we're not just here to watch stars shine, we're here to remember why they mattered. Rest in power. Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Your story is far from over.